overwhelming majority of men can't even get a girl to stop and give them the time of day. Or if they do get them to stop, they either get rejected instantly or the conversation fizzles out very quickly. That's why it's extremely important that you understand exactly what the first 10 seconds of an approach should look like. I'm about to go over exactly what you need to do inside those first 10 seconds so that you can start having longer interaction, leave longer lasting impressions that actually lead to phone numbers, which actually lead to dates. So let's jump straight into this interaction. Excuse me. Hi. I just saw you like walk away with that. I thought you were pretty. So the very first thing I want you to take note of is the distance and the positioning. So if you look at the previous 5 to 10 seconds before I even approach, I'm walking behind the girl trying to find a good angle. There's a lot of people coming at me in this mall and it's very crowded. So I don't want to open from the back or do anything that's gonna like catch her off guard and make me come across as creepy. Too many guys are opening from either way too close and it's like, whoa, you know, you're raising the girl's alarm straight away, or you're opening from behind where the girl cannot see you. So from the start of the interaction, you're setting yourself up for failure. This thing's already awkward to start. Look, if there's a lot of people coming your way, it's okay to just walk behind the girl for just a second. It's not creepy. You're not following the girl. You're just setting yourself up for success, for a better opportunity to open. That way you're not like scaring the girl right away. So it's a little hard to tell because there is people in the way, but if you look closely, I'm not directly next to her. If I actually reach out my arm, I cannot touch her. So there's plenty of distance. Not only is there plenty of distance, but if you actually see, I went from behind and I actually caught up and got slightly in front of her. I don't want to open when the girl's like right here next to me and then she's like this and then like try to stop her, so I stop walking, but now she's like looking over her shoulder trying to see me. If I open in front of her, she's already seeing me and it's not awkward. She can look at me and we can have a conversation normally. The mistake a lot of guys make is that they're opening either behind the girl or either right next to them. You can't be right next to them because when you say, hey, excuse me, to get the girl's attention, she's not gonna stop straight away like the push of a button. She's gonna take like 2 or 3 more steps. So if you open right next to her and she takes 2 or 3 more steps, it's gonna be like she's walking away from you, which is just setting yourself up for a bad frame. It feels like you're following her. She's already walking away. It's gonna be tough to recover from something like that. But if I actually open in front of her slightly and she takes 2 or 3 more steps, now you can see she's actually walking towards me. So once I say, hey, excuse me, she takes 2 or 3 more steps. We're actually closer than when we started. So the very first step when you see a cute girl and she walks right by you is, instead of looking back and like trying to open from behind or even like catching up to her but then opening right next to her, it's to actually get slightly ahead of her and open from the side but with good distance to where she can see you. Now moving on from distance and positioning, the next element that makes these first 10 seconds very powerful is the body language. So if you actually look closely, I'm actually not directly squared up with the girl head on. I'm actually looking over my shoulder slightly like this. So if the camera was the girl, I'd be looking a little bit something like this. I'm not totally like facing away looking over my shoulder awkwardly, but I'm just at an angle looking to the side, making eye contact with the girl, but my body is facing a slightly different direction. I call this non-committal body language, and what it communicates to the girl is that essentially she doesn't have my full attention. It's a very, very subtle tell that communicates that I'm not overly bought in or overly invested in this interaction. I could actually walk away at any given moment. So this is very, very subtle, but in a world where women are getting constantly bombarded with attention, compliments, and literally free stuff from men, you can see how some subtle body language communicating that I'm not fully bought into this interaction, you actually need to like earn my attention to some extent, can come a very long way. The mistake a lot of guys make is that they just have this really aggressive, squared up body language, and it's just too bought in. Like the girl feels trapped. So even if you're at a safe distance, the girl girl feels trapped. She feels like she can't leave, so it turns on her defense mechanism straight away, and then she has to walk around you. Or even if you are at a safe distance, you're just so overly committed to the interaction. It doesn't communicate the highest value form of yourself. So just imagine from the girl's perspective, this guy comes up to you and he clearly intrigued to some extent. He came up to you to talk, but you can tell by his body language, he might walk away at any moment. So now if you actually want to keep his attention, you have to invest into the conversation, into the interaction, at least somewhat, versus the guy's super squared up with you, and really whether you want him or you don't, you can tell you can have him. So there's not much to have to work for or win, right? People want what they can't have, and this honestly goes beyond women, like even men too. People like to be challenged. They want something that they cannot have. So if you can make the girl feel like she doesn't have you quite yet, you will have more approaches that lead to real extended interactions. And I mean, if you actually look closely, what I'm talking about clearly worked, because I started out looking to my left, but she actually squared up with me and we're then facing each other head on. But I'd rather the girl do it than you. You actually want to start with a little bit of a challenge, a little bit of just give her a little bit of space for her to invest in you as well. Now, the next thing I do to make the first 10 seconds very powerful is I display intent. This right here is what turns a boy into a man. If you get nothing else from this video, then just at least remember this step right here. Because what most men do is they approach the girl and maybe they ask some question, or maybe they introduce themselves straight away, or whatever they do, but they never let the girl know that they're actually attracted to them. So they end up having this long, friendly conversation where you never display intent. The girl doesn't even know that you're into her, or if she does, it's more so because she's looking at you and you're nervous and she can just tell, not because you were actually confident and man enough to lay your intention down and just be honest and tell her how you feel. This is a mistake. You want to let your intentions be known from the beginning. Be man enough to let her know what it is that you actually think, what it is that you actually came up to her for. And trust me, it will be very appreciated. Not only will the girl appreciate it, but you will appreciate it, because you're gonna save yourselves a lot of flaky numbers where you thought you talked to the girl and you thought you had a good time, but she actually, you asked her on a date and she's like, oh, I didn't know it was like that. I thought we were friends. She texts you back like, oh, I thought you were gay. So you will thank yourself. Now look, I've done this hundreds upon hundreds, if not thousands of times at this point. So I create a lot of attraction with my non-verbal communication, and that's why I use the word pretty here. I wanted to let her know, but for most beginners, I really recommend that you use the word cute instead. Pretty can be a little bit pedestalizing. Think about it like this. Your mother has authority over you. She's your mother, right? She raised you. You grew up listening to what she told you to do, right? And hypothetically, if you were like talking about your mother or talking to your mother, like let's say she showed you a picture, like, look, I took this picture while we were out for dinner. You would look at the picture and be like, oh wow, you look very beautiful, mom. Like you wouldn't say, oh wow, mom, you look really cute. That's kind of weird, right? Like you're calling your mom cute. It doesn't really make sense. You are more likely to say, oh, you look beautiful or you look pretty, but you wouldn't call your mom cute, right? Because has authority over you. So it doesn't make sense. It doesn't sound right. Now with a girl that you just met, that's a stranger, you don't want to communicate that same thing, that she has authority of you, that she's above you in any type of way. So you don't want to call her beautiful or pretty when you're first starting out. Now, once you can confidently look at the girl with the right positioning and the right distance and the right eye contact and the right smile, the right voice and the right tonality and all of these other things, then honestly, it doesn't matter as much what you say, because the girl more so feeds off of your vibe. But when you're first starting out to do these things, I do think the right wording can make a difference, and I think it matters. So use the word cute. Cute is like small. It's like you call your little sister cute, you know? But you have authority over your little sister. That's why you call your little sister cute. Now look, if you're struggling with this step right here, just being able to go up to a girl, say hi, and display your real intention, then click the link in the description. You're gonna get access to my brand new program where I show you how to do exactly this right here. Now moving on, I want you to notice the hesitation in my voice. I just saw you like walk away with that. I thought you were pretty, so I came to say hi.
You're also very good looking.
Thank you very much. Are you like on your way to meet someone? You here by yourself?
I was on my way to Sephora.
Okay, well, I'll walk you a little bit. Now this is a little bit of an advanced concept, but pay attention because this right here, if used properly, can be so attractive. The concept of purposely hesitating or seeming like slightly awkward on purpose was first planted in my mind when I was just 17. I was in high school and I was at this wrestling tournament with the rest of my teammates, and there was one really cute girl in our team, and she was talking with her best friend about my best friend at the time, who's also on the team. Well, he was away, and I was in this conversation while they were talking about him, and they said something that really stuck with me throughout the years. Specifically what they were saying, which stuck with me, is they were talking about how he's so attractive, but he doesn't even know that he's attractive, and it makes him even more attractive. And I thought that was very fascinating at the time, and at the time, being this shy kid with like no game at all, I don't know, it had an impression on me, and so I remember it very vividly till this day. So look, if you're first starting to approach women, hesitating probably shouldn't be your number one priority, but if you can confidently make eye contact, confidently smile at the girl, and literally with your entire vibe and body language communicate that you're confident, but at the same time have the slightest bit of awkwardness or hesitation, actually adds more charm. It's very counterintuitive, but it's something that I've been developing over the years of approaching women. So as you can see, because there's like these slight pauses of hesitation, like, yeah, I saw you walk away with that, and I thought you were pretty. I just saw you like walk away with that. I thought you were pretty. I'm attractive enough, yet human enough for the girl to actually return the compliment. That's why she ends up saying, yeah, you're also very good looking.
You're also very good looking.
Thank you very much. Now look, this is only for the first 10 seconds. I'm definitely not telling guys to go around stuttering to women, but when you first open and you're an absolute stranger, the girl doesn't know who you are, plus you're a man, you're in public, she might be a little bit wary of her safety. That's like women's number one concern, guys, is their safety. It could be beneficial to show a little bit of your human side, like humanize yourself and do something like just slight hesitation in your voice. It actually increases your charm. Are you like on your way to meet someone? You here by yourself?
I was on my way to Sephora.
Okay. So the girl returns the compliment. I just say thank you, and I move right into screening for logistics. Now, just a little bit of context. I recorded this right after Christmas, so there was a lot of people in New York that literally just came here to celebrate Christmas and celebrate their New Year with their family. So I went ahead and screened for logistics rather early so that I could just figure out like how much time do I have with this girl? Is she like literally headed to her family? Is she on her way out? How much time do I have? Do I have a lot of time to interact with her, or am I in a rush right now? But truth be told, you don't have to do this early. I'm just doing it in this instance because of the context that it's around the holidays and a lot of people are actually there with their family. Regardless, this is very important for you to do, and you're gonna need to do this eventually at some point during the interaction, because the mistake that almost every man makes is that they simply start talking to the girl and they continue to talk and talk and talk and vibe and vibe and vibe until the girl's like, okay, well, I have to go now. And then now you're in this compromised position. You have to be like, wait, let me get your phone number. You don't want to get to the point to where the girl has to go for you to ask for a phone number. You want to be proactive and figure out how much time you truly have early on. So I simply ask, so are you headed to family, or what are you up to right now? It's a very simple question, but it reveals the information that I need to know. Do I have time? Am I in a rush? Do I need to leave, maybe walk this girl somewhere? What is the situation that I'm currently in? Are you like on your way to meet someone? You here by yourself?
I was on my way to Sephora.
Okay, well, I'll walk you a little bit.
Yeah?
Yeah. Now, as you can see from there, I confidently go for the lead. So she tells me she's on her way to Sephora. Now, what a lot of guys do in this situation is they're like, oh, okay, so, well, let me just grab your number. Because they think, oh, the girl's doing something, so they just freak out and they end the interaction early. But this is only the first 10 seconds. It's very unlikely to have a 10-second interaction that actually leads to a date. You want to extend as long as possible. So you have to be entitled to a degree. You have to assume rapport and lead the woman with conviction, right? Because if she's just going to Sephora to buy something real quick, I can lead her. I can take her there. There's nothing stopping us from doing that. But also, I don't want to ask, because this is the other mistake a lot of men make. They're like, oh, okay, so like, would it be cool if, you know, I walk you there? Or they're like, oh, okay, well, like, would you like to, like, maybe talk to me first? No, just lead the way, right? So I tell her, okay, cool, I'll walk you there. And then I start walking, and the woman, of course, naturally she follows my lead because I led with conviction and I'm confident. And now we start walking together. Yeah, are you like Venezuelan or?
No, my family's part Colombian though.
Part Colombian.
Yeah, we're mostly Salvadoran.
Oh, really? Now, the final element to the perfect first 10 seconds of an approach is to make some sort of assumptive or observational question. Most guys make the mistake, they ask some sort of random or canned question that you can just repeat to everyone. Like, how's your day going, by the way? And I do think that while you're starting, there's no shame in doing that. I think that that's perfect to start extending interactions without overthinking what to say. But I also think that at some point you need to step out of your routine, step out of your automatic go-to question and make some sort of observation. Assume something about the girl instead of having these questions and answers that just leads to basic, boring, small talk. So I asked her, are you from Venezuela? Which is something that I guessed from the way she looks. It's an observation. It's not a canned question that I could just go and repeat, for example, to some girl that clearly looks like she's from Vietnam. It's not basic like, what's your ethnicity? It's an assumptive question that I made based upon an observation. And it doesn't need to be about her ethnicity. It could be about the clothes she's wearing. Maybe she looks a little athletic. You could say, yo, do you do Pilates? Yo, by the way, do you do yoga? It could be about a tattoo that she has. Or you could simply assume what she's up to based upon what she's doing, what she's wearing, what day of the week it is. There's a lot of routes that you can take it. I don't want you guys to think that you have to be stuck in a box and like ask the girl where she's from or guess her ethnicity. No, that's actually the whole point of what I'm saying, is that don't be in a box. Don't follow a script. Let the conversation flow naturally and be present and just talk about what you're actually observing in real time instead of repeating what you heard once on a Instagram video. Now, if you combine all of these elements correctly, you will effectively achieve the perfect first 10 seconds of an approach. Now, if you want to be able to apply all of the concepts discussed in this video confidently, then click the link in the description. You're going to get instant access to my brand new program where I'm constantly releasing in-depth tutorials and exclusive infield footage that I don't show here on Instagram, so that you can see me walk through the exact step-by-step system I've already used to coach over 400 men in this and get them real life results. I'm also giving away a free consultation call to the next 15 guys who take action. That's where I'm going to sit down with you, connect, and custom tailor the program to your specific situation and goals. But the slots are limited, so if you want to speak one-on-one with me directly, make sure you click the link below right now and take action. I'll look forward to connecting with you. Talk soon.